The Man of Steel, Superman, we're going to start making him into pixel art. That's right. And I'm not talking about the cartoon version Superman. I'm not talking about the comic book Superman. I'm talking about the movie Superman, from the current movie, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. That's right. And if you guys want to see how this pixel art is going to turn out, I already have uploaded a pixel art showcasing video displaying Superman in all of his glory. And to give you more of an incentive on trying to build this, attempting this pixel art tutorial, I am currently making Batman in his armored suit, again, from Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. It's not the Batman from the cartoon version, it's not the comic book version, it's the actual Batman, the real-life actors, Superman and Batman. So yes, this is going to be nice, 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 nice. And of course, just before we actually start, I do want to mention that I have made a new Xbox account, and the gamer tag for it is Felix Guaman YT. It's not a new gamer tag, it's a new account with a new gamer tag. So make sure to follow me. That way, if you are playing on the Xbox and you do end up making a mistake when it comes to either this pixel art or maybe some other pixel art that you're working on, it'll be easier for me to join your world, just message you, help you fix whatever like mistakes you might have made. I don't know. But I do get asked a lot if I could join your worlds and whatnot because you need me to check out a mistake. All right, so I've rambled on too long in the beginning, but first things first. Before we even start attempting to build this pixel art, there's something very important that I need you to be aware of. For those of you who don't know this, and maybe this is your first time building a large pixel art, whenever you're playing on a Minecraft world, usually depending on which type of Minecraft version you're playing on, whether it be on a console or maybe a mobile device on your phone or your iPod or whatever. Sometimes they have a height limit, which pretty much means you won't be able to build this pixel art upwards. In other words, if you're working on like a Minecraft that's not up to date with every single update, you might run into a height limit, means that you can't build like this. You can't build upwards. So to save yourself some trouble and some headache, you're going to have to build the pixel art laying down on the ground. This usually just pertains to people that are playing on the Minecraft PE edition, which is located on your Android phone, your iPhone, your iPod, or your iPad. Usually the handheld devices don't really have all the updates, so there's a good chance that you're going to have to build this pixel art laying down on the ground just so you can have the entire pixel art fit. Because if you try building it upwards like this, usually it'll stop, and you won't be able to build any further up. So just a disclaimer, because I know I've gotten in the past comments in the comment sections that they've said, Felix, I can't build upwards, I have a height limit. So just letting you know it in advance. So to get started, these are the blocks that you're going to be needing. I do recommend placing them underground like so. That way, if you decide to take breaks in between parts or in between a part, say you're going to a different Minecraft world of your friends, say you're going to a different part of your world to build a house, obviously you're going to be switching out the blocks, and that way when you do come back to the tutorial, you'll know exactly all the type of blocks that you'll be needing in your inventory. So that's why I recommend placing them on the ground, and that way whenever your friend joins your world, they can also see all the blocks that went into making the pixel art, so you can also show that off. So now we're going to be naming the blocks. Here we go. So first things first, we're going to be needing the block of coal, the black wool, the obsidian, the gray wool, the cyan stained clay, the stone block, the light gray wool, the white wool, the snow block, sand, birch planks, oak planks, jungle planks, spruce planks, brown stained clay, nether brick, nether rack, red wool, pink stained clay, pink wool, diamond block. This is a packed ice block. This isn't an ice block, but this is a packed ice block. There's two different ice blocks, and usually the one that you can see through, that's not the one that you want to use. See? We're not seeing through. We can't see through this. The original ice block, you could see through it, and you can see the grass and whatnot. You want the packed ice block for this one. Alright, so again, that's the packed ice block. This one is the light blue wool. the cyan wool, the lapis block, and the blue wool. So these are all the different type of blocks that you're going to be needing. I'll fly back a bit so you can see all of them. There you go. You have it all in one shot. So now we're going to be flying over to the center block. Now, this is what I call the center block. Go ahead and quickly switch over to the black wool for you newbies to my tutorials. Find a very nice open area, very large. You want a lot of space because this is going to be a very large pixel art. And just go ahead and place anywhere where you want the pixel art to be centered. This is what we call the center block. You're going to use a black wool. That's going to be our marker. That's very important for the very beginning of this tutorial. This is way you don't make any mistakes. Alright, so now that we've got that, what you're going to be doing next is listening. Do not do anything until I finish. Do not count, do not place blocks, don't do anything until I tell you to pause the video from here. Okay, for this beginning part. Alright, so starting on the right side of the center block, so starting on top of this grass block here, what you're going to be doing, not yet, not until I finish the entire thing that I'm about to tell you, starting on top of this grass block, you're going to count all the way up to the number 67, starting on the right side of this center block. So here's the center block, here's the grass block right here. This is the first number. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, and you're going to count all the way up to the number 67. You want to take your time. You might even want to use different type of colored blocks to help you keep track of your number. So we're going to fly all the way over. We're going to count. Obviously, I'm not going to do this because I've already done it. You're going to count all the way up to the number 67. Now, once you reach the number 67, again, none of you should be counting. Not yet, because I didn't tell you to. Once you reach the number 67, the grass block, you're going to be breaking that grass block. Then you're going to be switching over to the placement block. Now, the placement block we're going to be using is the bookshelf, and I'll explain further on what that means for you newbies. So, we're going to be putting the bookshelf, aka the placement block, in the place of the grass block that was number 67. So we broke the number 67 grass block and we put a placement block there in its place. So now you're going to pause the video and you're going to do that now. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. Count from the center block 67. And on 67 you break the grass block and put a placement block. Alright, so once you've done that, we're going to fly all the way back over to the center block. Believe me, all of this is necessary so you don't mess this up. Starting on the left side of the center block, so starting on top of this grass block, we're going to do the exact same thing we did over there. So this is going to be grass block number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. And you're going to keep going all the way to the left this time. And you're going to count all the way up to the number 67. Now, once you reach the number 67, you're going to break the grass block that is 67, and you're going to put a placement block there in its place. So go ahead and pause the video now to do that. Believe me, this is all important. I'm not just doing this for nothing. This is just to help you avoid any mistakes and to get this perfectly, because you are going to literally spend hours making this, because I'm going to be spending hours showing you how to make it. Alright, so once we've done that, what we're going to do is now fly all the way back to the other side. We're going to fly all the way to the right side of the center block, back to where we had the 67 over here on the right. So now we're on the right side of where the pixel art is going to be, going back to where we had the placement block here in the ground. So we're going to stay with the placement block. We're also going to be using the black wool. We're going to start off with the black wool, and I also want you to put the block of coal in your hot bar. Alright. There we go. So, starting on top of the placement block here, what we're going to do is add 5 placement blocks going straight up on top of this. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Obviously, we didn't count the one that was already in the ground that we placed. We added 5. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we're going to be switching over to the black wool. Starting on top of the placement block, just go ahead and put 1 black wool. And now we can go ahead and get rid of these 5 placements that we put. There we go. And everything should be looking exactly like this. Now, I am going to go a little slow when it comes to part 1. And that's just to explain every term that I use. Again, for the newbies, I don't just randomly say stuff. I say everything with a purpose. And there are terms that I use just to save ourselves some time. And I cannot stress enough, part 1 will go slow. I will go deliberately slow. There's going to be too much explanation, and that's why it's going to go slow. Alright, so now starting from this 1 black wool, we're also going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. That's 1. And again, just a quick reminder on why it's going to go slow. It's not just because of you. Usually, yes, you're probably a teenager, you're probably an adult. That's fine. That's awesome that you understand everything. But you got to be aware that you're not the only ones that are watching this. There are some people that are extremely old that are watching it, like parents or grandparents, and there are even kids that aren't even allowed to have a YouTube channel just yet. That are watching these videos. So I just want you to be aware that I do go at a certain speed to make it like a level playing field for everyone. So it doesn't matter the age or their ability to follow. Everyone should be able to follow just from the speed that I'm going. Just make it fair for everybody, guys. All right. So now starting from this one block, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. So it should look like that. And again, for the newbies, a quick explanation of again, going back to the terms, part 1 is going to be extremely slow. Part 2, don't worry about it. We're going to go fast, at a somewhat fast speed. But again, this is what 3 sets of 2s looks like. I do use terms, so this is, I'll explain what 3 sets of 2s is. The numbers, you don't really have to concern yourself because the numbers are always going to be changing. What you have to concern yourself is the order of the numbers and the word set, in other words, groups. So what I did here essentially was 3 groups of 2. So this is the first group, that's 1. This is the second group, that's 2. This is the third group, that's 3. So that's 3 sets. And in each group, I told you to put 2 blocks. So that's 3 sets of 2s. So, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. That's 3 sets of 2s. In other words, 3 groups, and in each group you had 2 blocks. Now, again, you don't have to worry about the numbers, but you do have to worry about the number orders. The first number is always going to be the amount of groups we're going to be doing. In other words, how many times we're going to be repeating these groups. And the second number you hear is always going to be how many numbers are in each group. So in this case, I said 3 sets of 2s, which means 3 groups. That's 1, 2, 3. And I said of 2s. So in each group we had 2 blocks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hopefully you understand that. I'll explain it later on if you don't. But this is what 3 sets of 2s looks like. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing next is placing 2 sets of 3s going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. So that's what 2 sets of 3s looks like. 2 groups, and in each group we had 3 blocks. And again, I'm using these terms to save time. There are some smartasses out there that say, well, if you're using these terms to save some time, then how come it's taking you forever to explain it? Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Part 1 will go extremely slow. Why? Because I'm explaining the terms. That's why. In part 2, I won't be needing to explain them because I did that all in part 1. But there are still some smartasses that think, well, then how come it's going so slow if it's supposed to save you some time? It's because I'm deliberately going slow to explain on why it's going to save time later. Alright, so what we're going to be doing now is switching over to a placement block. Starting underneath the left block of these 3 black walls, we're going to be putting a placement block there. Let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to switch over to a black wall. Starting on the left side of the placement block, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going up on the left side of it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should look like that. Now, the placement block is very important. I don't want you guys being just like using the same blocks. In other words, I'll give you an example. So if I said something along the lines of don't do this. This is just an example of. So if I said something along the lines of place 4 blocks going diagonal up to the right, I don't want you doing this. I don't want none of that. Like, none of that stuff. Like, I don't want you using the same type of blocks. I want you using the placement blocks that looks like this. That way, you know exactly which type of blocks you're going to be breaking, and you won't have to mess yourself up. Because then you're like, wait, did I add an extra one, or did I not add the other one? Because now I don't know, because I kind of was breaking blocks. I don't know which blocks it is. And believe me, the placement block that we're using right now has more than just that single purpose. And if you don't want to use it, you run the risk of messing this up, and don't ask for help if you're not going to be using it, because I literally go out of my way to make everything a lot simpler for all of you guys, because this is going to have a lot of details and a lot of blocks crisscrossing every way, and if you're going to be using the same exact block, please do not come crying to me just because you wanted to use the same block when I recommended you to use the placement block to avoid that hassle. Alright, so now we're going to be switching back over to the black wool. Starting from the top block of the 4 black wool, so starting from this block here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those. Now, starting from this block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of those. Head back up here. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. So again, that's 2 sets of 2, so it should look like that. Alright. Now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 2 diagonal, that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those placements. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. That's 1. And now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. So that's 1. Now I'm going to fly back a bit so you can see what we've done so far, and I do highly recommend if for whatever reason, if the tutorial is going a little too fast for you, make sure to hit that pause button. You don't want to make any mistakes. You don't want the tutorial to continue going on and you trying to catch up. It's like, oh my god, he's going a little too fast. I got to catch up. I got to do this quick. The moment you start trying to do things quick and trying to catch up, you will be making mistakes. So I recommend pausing the video whenever you feel like it's going a little too slow, or not slow, a little too fast. Believe me, this first part is going to go slow, but in the later parts, it's going to go a lot faster than this, trust me. This part 1 is always the explaining part, which is always boring to the people that have already been subscribed to me, because they hate me explaining stuff over and over to them. But I gotta be fair to the newbies. Alright, so going back over here to this 1 block, starting on the left side of it, so starting from here on the left, we're going to be placing 7 blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 blocks. Now we're going to head back down here for a sec, starting from the bottom block of the 7 black wools that we just placed right here. So starting from this block, we're going to be placing 8 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's fly back up, get rid of that placement, head back down. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that. Head back down. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1 and 2. So it should look exactly like this. Now, there is something also very, very, very important that you should note. You have to watch the video. For what reason? It's because I'm human. Sometimes I might accidentally say go to the left when in reality, I mean go to the right. And in the video, I'm going to the right. There have been some cases where people have said, you know what, I don't need to watch the video. I'm just going to go ahead and listen. So they're only listening to my instructions instead of watching the video. And then they'll end up being just confused and saying, hey, what the heck? My pixel art isn't matching up with Felix's pixel art. I did everything he said. Well, again, I'm only human, so there might be some rare occasions where I might mess up and say go to the left or go to the right, and I'm actually going some other way. That's only Felix being human. He can mess up. So it's very, very important to look at the screen. Do not get comfortable with my vocal instructions, you need to watch the screen as well, guys. Come on. Alright, so now that we've got that, what we're going to do next is leave that for now. What we're going to do is head back up here. Go back to the top block of these 7 black wools. So starting from this block, again, all the way back up here. We're going to be placing 2 sets of 7 going up on the right. That's 2 sets of 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 2. That's 2 sets of 7. And just to give you a heads up, I do count the numbers and I do count the number set. So for instance, I counted up to 7 here. So I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then after I said the number 7, I said the number 1 to signify that this is a finished group. This is the first group. I did the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. I said the number 2 after 7 to signify that this is the second set. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. So that's 2 sets of 7. I know. This is so boring, Felix. You're going so slow. Blah, 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 blah. Believe me, you're not the first person to think that or probably leave that in the comment section. Like I said, be patient. Part 2 and every other part that follows this is going to be much faster. So now we're going to be placing 13 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 blocks. Slide down, get rid of that. And just a friendly reminder, when we're doing double digits like this, like 13, make sure to count slow if you have to. You don't want to misplace one block. Believe me, misplacing one block or not adding a block or not adding a certain amount of blocks can throw the entire pixel art off, and then you'll be slightly frustrated or whatnot. And if it does, don't discourage yourself. Continue on with the pixel art. So what if it's a block off? It'll still come out looking great. So, starting from the top block of these 13, what we're going to do next is place 3 sets of 2s going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Again, that's what 3 sets of 2s looks like. So next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And make sure you're aware on when we're switching blocks too. Another common mistake that people have been known to make is not being aware of when I'm going up to the left, going to the right. Usually when I'm going like this, going up to the right, since like starting down there, I said going up to the right, up to the right, up to the right, up to the right. And then there might be that one moment where I say, all right, now go up to the left. All right, now we're going to go back up to the right. They probably didn't hear go up to the left, and they just kept going to the right. So be very aware of when I'm going to the left or right, or when I'm switching sides here and there. So you don't want to mess up. So now, starting from the top block of these 3 black wools, we're going to be placing 17 blocks going up on the right. That's 17. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17 blocks. Let's fly down, get rid of that placement block. Let's fly all the way back up to the 17. And now we're going to be placing 7 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, guys, just a friendly reminder, it's not going to kill you to pause the video just to double check that you did, in fact, place 17 blocks down here. You don't want to be 1 block off. Alright, so now, starting from the top block of these 7 blocks, we're going to be placing 12 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's head back down, get rid of that placement block. Now we're going to head back up. And now let's see, what we're going to do here is we're going to switch over to a placement block, starting on top of the 12 black wools here. So, starting from there, on top of the 12, we're going to be placing 3 placement blocks going up on top of it. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now, once you've done that, you're going to be switching over to the block of coal. Now, with the block of coal, what we're going to be doing with the block of coal is starting from the top block on the left side, of the placement. So starting from here, we're going to be placing 6 block of coals going down. This isn't black wool, this is block of coal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, if you do not have block of coal, then go ahead and just substitute it for black wool. It's not going to be that much of a difference. It's just that they do have a significant color shade. Block of coal is darker than black wool, and it'll just make it look a lot better when we're done. Alright, so let's get rid of those placements. And now we're going to be switching back over to the black wool. So heading back up here, going back to the top block of the 12 black wool. So again, our starting point being back here. We're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the right. So that's 1. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going up on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 2. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Once we've done that, let's head back to the first set of 3s, which is this, because this is the first set. We had 1, 2, 3, 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 2. So these are sets. Let's go back to the first set of 3s, which are these here. Starting from the middle block on the right side of the middle block, so starting from here, we're going to be adding 2 black wools going across to the right. So that's 1, 2. So it looks like this. Now, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So 2 diagonal, that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those. Next, we're going to be placing 13 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 blocks. Let's fly up and get rid of that placement. And let's head back down. And now here we're going to be placing 6 blocks going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's head back up, get rid of that placement. And now let's head back down. And now from here we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the left. Again, guys, remember when we're switching sides. So that's 1, 2, 3. These are going down to the left, as you can see. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. Now, to close this off, we're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let's get rid of the placement blocks. And I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like that, making contact with the 17 black wools that we had here going up. And if you guys are wondering, or at least for the newbies, what you see right now on the left screen is always going to be me placing the blocks. But on the right screen, that's to help you out, to give you a reference on how the pixel art is coming along and to show you exactly where I'm located. That way I don't have to do this. If you're looking at the left screen right now, that way I don't have to fly back and show you like, all right, guys, we're going to be right there, or we're going to move like down here. I mean, I will be saying, all right, we're going to move here and there, but the right screen is there to help you out as well, so you can see where exactly I'm at during the pixel art, so no one gets lost. Believe me, I've done this for a couple of years now. I've read the comment section, I've read the complaints, I read this and that. I've read what could be better and whatnot. All the placement block, the terms, me explaining every single thing, me going as far explaining, oh, watch out for the height limit. These are the type of blocks. If you don't have them, substitute them for something else. Like every single thing, all of the feedback that I've gotten is being translated into the new tutorials that I've been doing. That's why it's taking forever for part 1. All the part 1s, in fact. Alright, so we're going to be switching now back to the block of coal. Let's head all the way back up here. And just a fun fact, I don't even play Pocket Edition, but since I got so many comments saying I'm reaching a height limit in the Pocket Edition, that's why I knew about the height limit. I knew about the height limit of a game that I don't even play, the Pocket Edition. So yes, thank you for your feedback. Alright, so now switching over to the block of coal. We're going to head back up here, back to the 2 black wools that went across from these 3 blocks here. Starting on top of the right block of these 2 black wools, with the block of coal now, we're switching blocks, we're going to be placing 17 block of coals going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17 block of coals. Now we're going to be switching over to the black wool, and we're going to quickly fly back down here. You see this empty space here that we left behind? We're just going to fill that in with the black wool. Just fill that in there. Now we're going to fly all the way back up, and the block that we're going to be mainly using for now is going to be the block of coal. So we're not going to be using the black wool anymore, not for a little while. We'll go back to it in a few minutes, but we're going to be switching over to the block of coal now. So now, starting from the top block of these 17 blocks here, with the block of coal, you're going to be placing 13 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's fly down, get rid of that placement, and then let's fly all the way back up. And now from here, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. So that's 2 sets of 2s, so it should look like that. Next, we're going to be placing 7 blocks going up on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get rid of the placement block. Okay, and what we're going to be doing next is placing 2 blocks going up on the left. That's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the left. So 3 diagonal. That's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. And now we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. That's 1. And now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So again, that's 3 sets of 2s. I'll fly back a bit so you can see what we've done so far, and you can go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare, just to make sure everything is looking exactly like this. Alright, so let's go back up here. And now we're going to be placing 3 sets of 3s going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 3. Let's get rid of the placements. Let's head back. Now we're going to be placing 19 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. 19. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's 19 blocks. Let's fly over. Get rid of that placement block. And now let's fly back. Now from here, we're going to be placing 4 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is going on the lower level now. You can see we're no longer going on the upper. This is lower. Again, you also got to pay attention and be aware of when, not only when we're going left to right, but when we're switching heights, when we're going up and down like this. So we're on the lower level. Alright, oh, and by the way, I got so distracted on getting ready for the next part. This actually is a slight mistake by me. It's not supposed to be 4, but that's fine. We'll just get, it's supposed to be 3. So let's just break that 1 block at the very end. Boom, like that. That's my little mistake. That's my little hiccup. So it's supposed to be 3, not 4. I just got a little ahead of myself. I tend to do that at times. So again, recapping, we had the 19 blocks here going across, and then we should have had the 3 blocks, not 4. That's my mistake. 3 blocks. Again, count them. 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's 3. Break off that extra one that I accidentally made you place. Alright, so this is why I got a little confused. Alright, so now starting from here, we're going to be placing 4 blocks diagonal down to the left. So 4 diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's exactly why I told you to place 4 accidentally up here, because I was thinking of this here. That's what I mean whenever I say I'm got ahead of myself. I got a little ahead of myself there. And sometimes I mix up the numbers. So again, it should look like this: 19, 3, and 4. Alright, so now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 2. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Let's fly down here, and now we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of the placement blocks, and it should look like this. Hopefully I said this right. Alright, so we're going to do a recap after the 4. So after these 4 diagonal, what we had was 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 3 blocks. Essentially, let me mess that. I'm messing it up, I'm sorry. We had the 4 diagonal, we had the 2 blocks, we had the 2 sets of 3s, and then we had the 3 sets of 2s. I know it sounds confusing, but don't worry, it'll grow on you. The subscribers that have been subscribed now, it's like a second language to them. They don't need any explanation. Alright, so what we're going to do next is fly back up here. Going back to the first set of the 2 sets of 3s, so going back to these first 3 here, starting from the top block of it, we're going to be placing 6 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, we're going to be placing 3 blocks diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 3 blocks diagonal down to the left. So 3 diagonal. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of those placements. Once you've done that, you're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. And now place 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2. Next, we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now you're going to be placing 2 sets of 3s going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 2. Now, before I move on, there is something else that I need for you to be aware of. At times, the shortest instruction that I can ever give you, the easiest and shortest instruction that I can ever give you, and it's one of the instructions that gets overlooked, and that's why people are always complaining in the comment section and wondering, hey, Felix, I don't get it. I'm always 1 block off. I don't understand. Why am I always 1 block off? And it's usually because of this little guy right here. That guy right there, and this guy right here. Because when you guys aren't pausing the video, and you're just doing all of this without trying to pause the video and can't catch up, or are trying to catch up, the easiest way to get lost is when I do this. When I just say, alright, now we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. Now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down. So you can see that this is the easiest and smallest command. So if you're behind and trying to catch up, there is a good chance that you'll miss when I tell you to place one block going down to the left or right or whatever. Those one blocks are pretty much the devil of these tutorials just because they have screwed up people so many times. And believe me, they have let their frustration been known in the comment section. So, Felix, why am I always one block off? Alright, so now starting from here, we're going to be placing 11 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So pretty much what I've been telling you throughout this entire tutorial is focus. Please just focus. Do not waste a bunch of hours on these tutorials only to find out that you made a mistake because you weren't focusing. I don't want you to waste your time, believe me. I'm doing this because I want you guys to actually make these pixel arts. So please give me your attention and give the tutorial some attention. Alright, so now, starting from the bottom block of the 11 blocks here, we're going to be placing 13 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 blocks. Let's fly up, get rid of that placement block. And we're going to be flying back down. And we're going to be placing 5 blocks going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's fly back up. Get rid of that placement block. Let's fly back down. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the right. We're switching sides just for now. Going down to the right, 1 block. So that's 1. Be very aware. Alright, so now we're going to be switching over to the black wool for now. So switching back over to the black wool, starting from this 1 block of coal, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get rid of those placements. And let's see. I'm trying to decide on which path to take so I don't confuse you guys. We'll continue the black wool, I guess. We're going to have to do a little block of coal later on, but that could wait. Alright, so now that we have our 4 here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2. And now you're going to be placing 15 blocks going down on the right. 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's fly all the way back up. Get rid of that placement block. Let's head all the way back down now. And from here, we're going to be placing 8 blocks going down on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's fly back up. Get rid of that placement block. And let's head back down. And now from here, we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. Switching sides, going down to the left, 1. So that's 1. And now what we're going to be doing next is switching over to the placement block. Now with the placement block, we're going to fly all the way back up here, going back to the 15 blocks that we had. So let's go all the way back up here. Starting from the top block of the 15, we're just going to add 2 placement blocks going up on top of it. So that's 1, 2. And now we're going to be switching over to the block of coal. Now, with the block of coal, starting from the top block of these 2 placement blocks on the right side of it, so starting from here, we're going to be placing 7 block of coals going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's fly back up. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. Now, starting from the top block of these 7 block of coals, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going up on the right. So that's 1, so that's 1, 2, 3. Again, that's with a block of coal. Let's get rid of those placement block. And now we're going to be switching back over to the black wool. Now with the black wool, we're going to head back up here, just a bit to the left, going back to these 2 black wools that went across after this 1 block of coal here. We're going to start from the left block of these 2 black wools. So starting from this block here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those placements. And now we're going to be placing 10 blocks going down on the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's fly up, get rid of that placement block. Let's head back down. And now we're going to be switching sides. We're going to go to the right. We're going to be placing 8 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's head back up, get rid of that placement block. And now let's make our way back down. And from here, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2. And now place 1 block going down to the right. That's 1. Now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going down on the right. So that's 1, 2. And now we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. And that's 1 and 2. And now to close this off, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2. As you can see, it should be making contact with this other 1 black wall that we already placed there. So now we're going to switch over just for a sec. We're going to switch back over to the block of coal. Now with the block of coal starting from the right side of these 2 black walls here, underneath the right block, so starting from there, we're going to be adding 3 block of coals going down. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now once you've done that, we're going to be switching back over to the black wall, starting from the top block of these 3 block of coals, starting on the right side of it, so starting from right there. We're going to be adding 6 black walls going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 blocks. Now, once you've done that, what you're going to do next is place a linked. Now, this is something else that I have to explain real quick. A linked block is essentially blocks that are connected to other blocks. In other words, we don't need a placement block to place these set of blocks. So we don't need something like this, and you'll see why. They're connected. So what you're going to do next is place a linked 4 blocks going down on the right. So it's going to look like this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's the term that I use when it comes to linked. Usually, they start off from the very last block that we placed. In other words, we had 6 black walls going down. So this is the very last block. And then I told you to place a linked 4 blocks to go down on the right. So it went like this. Again, we didn't need a placement block for links because they're always connected. And I try my best not to use them as much because I know some people are usually 1 block off because they mishear on what I said. So say I said place a linked 4 blocks and somebody just heard the number 4. So it was like, oh, just going down to the right. So they would place a regular 4. So they would be an extra block down here. And then that would just throw the entire pixel art off. So please be aware. But don't worry, I do emphasize when I'm saying linked. So again, that was a linked 4. Explanation done. I don't think I have to explain that anymore. So now, from here, we're going to be placing 7 blocks going down on the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And please, please, please do not be in the mindset of linked anymore. I didn't say linked. So I don't want anyone accidentally placing a linked 7. Unless I emphasize the word linked, always go with a normal flow. I only said 7. I said nothing about linked there. So again, this is a regular 7 going down on the right. Okay, so now starting from the bottom block of the 7, we're going to be placing 6 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's fly back up, get rid of that placement block. Let's head back down. And now we're going to be placing 5 blocks going down on the left. On the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Believe me, I'm not going to be this annoying when it comes to explaining. I'm not going to be this annoying when it comes to emphasizing. I have to be this annoying, and I have to be this emphasizing on words in part 1 of every single one of my tutorials. That way, people can't complain in part 2 and 3 and wondering why it's going so fast or why they don't understand anything. It's like, bro, I just wasted a good hour explaining everything in part 1 so I could go at a normal speed in part 2. I don't want to hear any complaining. So now, starting from the bottom block of the 5 black walls here, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going down on the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those placements. Let's head back down here. And from here, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's get rid of those placement blocks now. And what we're going to be doing next is switching over to a placement block, and we're going to be putting 1 placement block on the right side of this 1 black wall. So go ahead and put a placement block there. Now we're going to be switching over to the black wall and starting underneath this placement block. So starting from there, we're going to be adding 9 blocks going across to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 blocks. Let's fly over and get rid of that placement block. Let's head back over here. Now, starting from the left block of these 9, we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to be placing 3 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of those placements. Let's head back over here. And now we're going to be placing 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now that we place this 1 block, from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Let's get rid of those placements. And now place 1 block going down to the left. That's 1. And now you're going to be placing 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And finally, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1 and 2. Let's get rid of those placement blocks. I'll fly back a bit so you can see what we've done so far in this section. And of course, you can go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Now, there is something very important that we're going to be doing, and that is flying over here. We're going to be flying over to the very last black wall that we just placed that was part of the 2 blocks diagonal here. So we're going to go over here to the block furthest to the left, and what you're going to do is align yourself up with your Minecraft character. So this is what you're going to do, and this is very important that you do this right now. We're going to align ourselves up, so make sure you're facing it. You're perfectly aligned underneath it. Once you've done that, you're going to look straight down. And without moving left or right, you're just going to free fall straight down. Again, we're in creative mode. You're not going to die. And you should have landed on the placement block that we put at the beginning of this entire part. Now, this, again, is to measure and make sure that everything we've done so far is aligned up. If you've landed here, you're doing it wrong. If you've landed here, you're doing it wrong. If you're landing anywhere on the left side, anywhere on the right side, you've made a mistake, and you should definitely go back and see where you have gone wrong. But if your Minecraft character aligns up perfectly with the placement block here that we put at the left side of the center block at the beginning, and this black wall here, you're doing everything correctly so far. Again, that's why it said at the very beginning of this tutorial, it's very important that you do all of this. This is going to help you out. It's going to help detect any mistakes before we even go into part 2. So, now that we've done that, what we're going to do next is, should we continue on? We'll do a little more, and then we'll call it a part. So, we're going to head back over here. Go back over here to the 9 black walls that we had going across. And by the way, just to give you a heads up, I'm not sure if you guys would have messed up or anything. If you did somehow found yourself, like, messing up somewhere, it's probably because you might have miscounted. So, don't freak out that something doesn't match. You probably miscounted. Again, starting on the right side, we never count the center block as 1, but starting on the right side of it, you're going to count from that grass block 67 going to the right, and on the left side, 67 going to the left. So maybe you miscounted, try miscounting. Don't panic, it's not the end of the world. You can still save the pixel art. Alright, so let's go back over here to the 9 black walls, starting on the right side of the 9 black walls. So from here, again, I'll fly back again. It's the only 9 black walls that we had going across here. So, starting on the right side, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to be placing 3 sets of 3s going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 3. Let's get rid of those placement blocks now. And next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the right. So it's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. Now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Now once we've done that, we're going to be placing 5 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the right. That's 5 sets of 2s. So it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 1, 2, 5. Let's get rid of those placements. Head back down. And now we're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So 6 diagonal. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And now we're going to be placing 3 blocks going down on the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, starting from the middle block of these 3 black walls that we placed going down, on the right side of the middle block, so starting from there, we're going to be placing 4 sets of 3s going across on the lower level to the right. 4 sets of 3s starting from there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3, that's 4. Let's get rid of those placements. Let's head back over here. And now from here, we're going to be placing 5 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're going to be placing 17 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17 blocks. Let's fly over, get rid of that placement block. Let's head back. Now from here, we're going to be placing 2 blocks going up on the right. That's 1, 2. And now you're going to be placing 1 block going up to the left. We're switching sides, going up to the left. 1. Okay. Now from this 1 block, we're going to be placing 2 sets of 2s going across on the upper level to the left. So that's 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2. And as you can see, it should be making contact with these other blocks that we placed at the beginning of the start, I should say, of the tutorial, the actual tutorial, not the explaining stuff there, but the actual stuff. So you can see it should align up. I'll fly back a bit. Now, do not worry. I cannot emphasize this enough. We will be going a lot faster than this. We will be getting so much done, other than what we've just done now. This part 1 is always going to be the explanation part. It's always boring for my current subscribers, like I mentioned before, that have always been subscribed. But don't worry, we're going to get a lot done. It's definitely not going to go at this pace. This is almost nothing compared to every other part that I do after the first part. So again, guys, make sure to follow me on my new Xbox account, which is called Felix Guaman YT. There's no spaces. Just follow me in case you might have messed up. Maybe you can go ahead and send me a message. I'll check it out. You know, we'll work it out. We'll make sure everything's going fine. And of course, guys, you can go ahead and follow me on my other social media. Check out my other stuff. And if you're ever wondering how I make my pixel arts, or you want to check out on how I make my pixel arts, I do live stream. I'm trying to live stream every day, at least maybe an hour or two, and you can see me in the process of making new pixel art not tutorials, new pixel arts that will eventually become tutorials in the future. So you can go ahead and check me out on Twitch, and you can get like notifications from Facebook or Twitter if you follow me there, and you can see every single pixel art that I've ever created on Snapchat, or not Snapchat. I have a Snapchat. You can go ahead and add me. Every single pixel art on Instagram that you can go ahead and check out. So again, guys, with all that being said, make sure to stay tuned in for more Minecraft videos, and make sure to stay tuned in for the second part of Superman.